I'm Dave, and this is Austin Eats.
What if I told you that the best part of a brisket isn't the whole thing at all, but just one cut? Today I'm going to show you how to make the juiciest, most flavorful brisket ever, and I'll be doing it in a Kamado Joe. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just pure Texas barbecue technique. The biggest myth in barbecue is that you have to cook a whole packer brisket, the flat and the point together. But here's the truth. The flat is lean and it dries out easily. The point, well, that's where the magic is. Heavy marbling means juicy bites. By smoking only a point, you get the best part of the brisket every single time. I asked my butcher to cut me a brisket point, and this is what he gave me. It's a 4-pounder with a lot of really nice marbling. If I turn it over, you can see the fat line that separates the point from the flat. On the back side, you can clearly see that there is a small, thin portion of the flat attached to the point. That's the way it'll come from the butcher. I've trimmed off a bit of the hard fat from the surface, leaving about a 1/4-inch cap. This fat protects the meat as it cooks and renders down beautifully. Then season it heavy, Texas style, with a 50-50 mixture of kosher salt and coarsely ground black pepper. Don't be shy. This isn't just for flavor. It's what creates that dark, crusty bark. Once it's seasoned, let it sit uncovered in the refrigerator for a few hours. That resting time dries the surface and helps the rub stick, and that sets you up for incredible bark. Now let's set up the Kamado Joe. Fill the firebox with lump charcoal, light it, and let it come up to a steady 225 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. This particular point is on the small side, so I'm going to start it at 225 degrees because I want it to smoke slowly. That's what makes brisket tender. Once the internal temperature reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit, I'll wrap it up and crank the heat. More on that later. The Kamado Joe is great at holding those low and slow temperatures for hours on end. I'm going to set it up for cooking at 225 using my FireBoard temperature controller. This thing is a game changer for low and slow cooking. It will maintain a set temperature plus or minus a few degrees for hours and hours. Watch my video on why you need a FireBoard for low and slow cooking. A link is at the end of this video and in the description below. For the fuel, I'm using extra large Fogo brand of lump charcoal for a clean, long burn. I always use Fogo whenever I cook low and slow. This charcoal will add some smoky flavor, but if you want more smoke, you can add a few chunks of fruit wood or post oak. I do not recommend hickory or mesquite for brisket. The smoke is just too strong. And don't soak your wood. Just bury a few chunks in the charcoal so they smolder nice and slow throughout the cook. Steady heat and clean smoke are everything here. You want that thin, almost invisible blue smoke, not billowing white smoke. I'm setting up for indirect cooking with the deflectors on the lower level, and on the top of those, I'm putting a drip pan with some water. The pan will catch drippings and prevent flare-ups. It will also add some moisture inside the Kamado Joe, which will help build bark on the brisket. Place the cooking grate on the top level, close the dome, and let the Kamado Joe sit for 20 to 30 minutes for it to come up to temperature before the meat goes in. It takes that long for the ceramic to warm up. After 30 minutes, the ambient temperature inside my Kamado Joe is a steady 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Place the brisket point right on the grate, fat cap up, and insert a thermometer probe into the thickest part. Close the lid and don't touch it. Every time you open the lid, you're just losing precious heat and extending the cooking time. After a few hours, you should start applying a simple mop sauce to the surface of the brisket. This will help to keep the brisket from drying out, and it also helps with bark formation. I'm using a simple mixture here of 50-50 apple juice and water. You could apply it with a mop in a squirt bottle like I am, or you could put it into a clean spray bottle. Either one works just fine. Brisket is all about patience. You're cooking by temperature, not by time. As it smokes, something called the stall is going to happen. At around 165 degrees Fahrenheit, the temperature will just stop climbing. That is because Evaporative cooling, moisture evaporating from the surface, is keeping the meat from climbing in temperature. Take a look at this screenshot from my FireBoard, taken just as the internal temperature of the roast hit 165 degrees Fahrenheit. The bottom graph is the graph of the internal temperature, and you can see how it went up steadily until about 12 noon and then just started to level off. That was the beginning of the stall. In this screenshot, taken just as the roast hit 202 degrees Fahrenheit and was ready to come off, you can see how that bottom graph rose steadily and then leveled off for a long period of time. Actually, it was almost 2.5 hours before it started to go up again. Don't worry about it and don't crank the heat. The stall is normal for brisket. When you hit the stall, it's time to wrap. I like to use red butcher paper, not foil. Butcher paper lets the brisket breathe while keeping it moist. Lay out 2 big sheets and place the brisket in the middle. I like to paint it with some melted beef tallow to keep it moist and add a little more flavor. I like to put it on nice and thick and all the way around. Then wrap it up tight. Just fold it up like a butcher would do. There you go. Back in the smoker it goes, seam side down. Now I'm raising the heat to 275 degrees Fahrenheit and cooking the brisket until the internal temperature reaches 202. In making a brisket, you're cooking to tenderness. Forget the clock. What matters is how it feels. Around 202 degrees, start probing. When the thermometer slides in and out with no resistance, kind of like butter, you're done. Remove the brisket and wrap it, butcher paper and all, in several layers of heavy-duty foil. Then wrap that in several bath towels and let it rest in a cooler for at least 2 hours. That rest lets the juices redistribute, and it's the key to juicy brisket. This is a picture of a brisket that was cut right away without a rest. All the juice ran out and it was dry as a bone. Just wait to see how this brisket point looks after a few hours. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's unwrap the brisket and look at the bark. Nice, dark, crusty, smoky perfection. I'm going to slice this right across the grain. Juicy, tender, beautiful. This is brisket perfection. So there you have it. Texas brisket the smart way. Forget the flat. Focus on the point, and you'll never serve dry brisket again. By the way, I have a new cookbook out. Click on the link in the description to check it out. Hey, if you liked the video, let me know, and please subscribe. I'll see you next time on Austin Eats.